In the heart of the forest of Fernwood, there lived a young fox named Finn. Unlike the other foxes, who were swift and clever, Finn was shy and easily frightened. He was small, with golden fur that glimmered like the sun, but his courage was as tiny as a pebble. Every day, Finn watched the other animals leap over rocks, chase after rabbits, and explore the deep corners of the forest. He wanted to be brave like them, but fear always held him back. "I'm too small," Finn often thought. "I can't do what they can." One day, Finn overheard a group of animals talking excitedly near the river. "The enchanted river is flowing again," said a rabbit. "The river grants wishes, but only to those who are brave enough to cross it," added an owl perched on a nearby tree. "Whoever crosses will be granted a wish," chirped a squirrel. Finn's heart raced. He had heard of the enchanted river before. It was said to be full of swirling, sparkling water that could grant one true wish to anyone who crossed it. But the river was deep, and the currents were fierce. No one knew anyone brave enough to cross it. "I wish I could be as brave as the others," Finn whispered to himself. "Maybe I can find the courage to cross the river and make my wish." Determined to prove to himself that he could be brave, Finn set off toward the enchanted river. As he walked, his paws shook, and his heart thudded loudly in his chest. Every rustling leaf made him jump, and the shadows of the trees seemed to whisper fears into his ears. "What if I can't do it?" Finn thought. "What if I fail? What if the river is too powerful?" But Finn remembered the wish, the desire to become brave, to show everyone that he could face his fears. So he kept going, step by step. Finally, after hours of walking, Finn reached the enchanted river. The river sparkled under the moonlight, its waters swirling with magic. The sound of rushing water filled his ears, and Finn felt both awed and afraid. The current was swift, and the other side seemed so far away. As Finn stood there, trembling, something unexpected happened. A soft, gentle voice echoed from the river itself. "Why do you hesitate, little fox?" Finn looked around but saw no one. The voice came from the river's ripples, as though the water itself was speaking to him. "I want to cross," Finn said hesitantly, "but I'm scared. What if the current is too strong? What if I can't make it?" The river's voice was calm. "The crossing is not about strength, little fox. It is about believing in yourself. The courage you seek is already within you." "But how can I believe in myself when I am so small and afraid?" Finn asked, his voice trembling. "The answer lies in taking the first step," said the river. "Do not worry about the whole journey. Just cross one step at a time, and you will find the courage you need." Finn took a deep breath. "I will try." With shaking paws, Finn took his first step into the water. The river was cold, and the current pulled at him, but he didn't stop. He took another step, then another. Slowly but surely, he moved deeper into the river. With each step, Finn's fear started to fade. He realized that the water wasn't as fierce as he had imagined. It didn't want to hurt him, it just wanted to help him grow. As Finn moved forward, the river's magical glow surrounded him, filling him with warmth and light. "I can do this," Finn whispered to himself. As Finn neared the middle of the river, the current grew stronger, and the water seemed to swirl around him. It looked as if he might lose his footing. For a moment, fear crept back into his heart, but then Finn remembered the river's words, "Believe in yourself." With a burst of courage, Finn leaped forward. He paddled with all his might, using the strength he never knew he had. He didn't look back, he didn't doubt himself. He simply believed. With one final leap, Finn reached the other side of the river. Finn stood on the bank, panting but smiling. The river's magic surrounded him, and a soft, glowing light appeared before him. "You have crossed the river, little fox," the river said, its voice filled with pride. "Now, you may make your wish." Finn looked out at the forest, the stars twinkling above him. He thought for a moment, then said, "I wish to be brave, not just for today, but forever. I want to face my fears and never doubt myself again." The river's waters sparkled brighter than ever before, and a gentle breeze carried Finn's wish into the night sky. "You have already made the most important wish, little fox," said the river. "You believed in yourself, and that is the truest form of bravery." When Finn returned to the forest, he was no longer the same timid fox. He had crossed the enchanted river, faced his fears, and discovered the bravery that had always lived inside him. The other animals of the forest noticed the change in Finn. He was no longer afraid to explore, to take on challenges, and to help his friends. When they asked how he had become so brave, Finn simply smiled and said, "I believed in myself, one step at a time." And from that day on, Finn the fox was known as the bravest fox in the forest, not because he was the biggest or the strongest, but because he had the courage to face his fears and believe in his own strength. Moral of the story: bravery isn't about being fearless, it's about believing in yourself, taking one step at a time, and facing your fears head-on.